Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here at Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here at Triangle Center for Spiritual Living's Sunday Meditation. We welcome you here and we welcome you at home if you are joining us this morning. Thank you for being here. So, this morning's meditation is for clarity and guidance. And I invite you to hold in mind a question or a circumstance that maybe you've been batting around for a while without resolution and feeling a little bit stuck. Just to hold that in mind, not front and center, but on the peripheral, I guess, while we begin our meditation. So let's begin by getting into a comfortable seated position. Gently close your outer eyes and begin to bring your awareness inward to the center of your being. Relaxing into this moment now, giving yourself the gift of turning inward, the gift of being present. Fully arrive into this moment now. Mentally scan the body you're in, noticing any areas of tension or tightness. Simply release and let go. Begin to relax the body from the top of your head, forehead, the face. Relax the jaw, the neck. Allow shoulders to relax. Allow the tummy to just be what it is in a relaxed state. Begin breathing deeply into the belly and fully exhale as you move deeper into this moment. Relaxing your seat muscles, legs, ankles, and feet. Become aware of your personal inner stillness in the midst of the world doing world things. This moment now is just divine you, connected to your divine breath, aligning with divine consciousness. A prayer of love for yourself. Bring your awareness to your breath. Feel a sense of expansion in every deep inhale and full release on every exhale. Take a moment to see if you can feel the breath as if it is in an endless cycle, feeling every inhale flow into every exhale. Every exhale rise up into every inhale. See if you can make every transition so smooth it feels as though each exhale melts into the next rising inhale. Really allow this feeling of flow within you, bringing you deeper into a state of relaxation and ease. Continue breathing this way as you listen to and feel the following words. At any given moment, there are a multitude of positive pathways available to you that lead you to your desired destination. Whether your destination is mental, physical, or spiritual, related to work or relationship or your health, begin to feel the feeling of having achieved your desire, of arriving. The feeling when peace of mind replaces the agony of indecision or indecisiveness or confusion. So often when we seek clarity and guidance, we think it comes from outside of us, but truly, when we allow ourselves to drop within, we are the ones that activate the guidance and clarity in our own minds when we let our energy be aligned with unconditional love. Love from the source itself embedded within us even before our first breath. When we take the time to turn within, to be still and know, we naturally allow ourselves to align with right action, our next right step. It's not the action and the steps you take that matter so much as it is getting your energy into alignment with love and clarity. And from there, from that inner source of wisdom and knowing, whatever action you're leaning toward will be one of the many creative, beautiful, positive possibilities that is of your highest, most loving good. From there, that's when the signs around you start to show up and be of service. But it's always activated from within. So allow yourself to drop into your heart in the center of your chest. Feel your energy inside your body, heart beating, breath flowing. Become very aware of your physical nature, aware of the energy living you, breathing you in every moment. You can affirm to yourself, I am here. I am me. All is well. Now take a nice, big, deep breath into the stomach and rib cage, fully expanding, holding your breath at the top, and when you're ready, exhale with an open sigh. Let's do that once again. Return to breathing at a flow and pace that feels good to you. Begin to imagine a beam of white light extending from as high as you can imagine, all the way down through the crown of your head, down through your spine, through your organs, filling all the spaces in between. This radiant white light now moving straight out through your legs and feet, all the way into the core of the earth. Feel the brightness and clarity of this beam of light. Tune in to a sense of clearing and cleansing happening within your energy field. Let it fill you from above and beyond. This living white light, illuminating all the shadows, all the forgotten spaces. And now, ignited from your heart in the center of your chest, begins to flow an energy of unconditional love, full acceptance and okayness of exactly where you are, who you are, in this very moment. It extends from your heart into every cell and every atom of your body. You may feel it spreading through you like warm honey. You affirm to yourself, I am safe. I am me. I am love. And with the affirmation, I am love, you feel your body light up from the inside out. You feel deeply connected to your heart. You're aligned with the very center of your being, your God self. You know, and you know that from this loving energy within, only love and wisdom can come from it. You can relax in this feeling. Your inner being, your soul, it already knows that which you're seeking guidance on. It has been waiting lovingly and patiently for your inward journey. So glad you're here now. As you relax in this loving energy, in this pure beingness, just allow yourself to enjoy how you feel. You may receive an impulse or an idea, or maybe just a feeling. Trust and know that by experiencing your energy in this state, you are a magnet for clarity and guidance that comes from a place of love. You've cleared a path for the way forward. Your guidance, your clarity, flows from a place of your own loving inner wisdom. No need to force any ideas. Just allow yourself to enjoy this feeling without any attachment to the outcome. This feeling alone is what will help you create the right path every step of the way. So just allow whatever you experience to be as you love and appreciate all of it. Continue to bring your awareness back to the flow of your breath. Feel all the feels. Bask in your strength and knowingness. Give gratitude for this gift that has been yours all along. So thankful for the reminder. Continue breathing this way as you listen to and feel the following words repeated. At any given moment, there are a multitude of positive pathways available to you that lead you to your desired destination. We'll continue this meditation with some music for a few minutes. Continue to enjoy this feeling and see if you receive any insights or impulses. Either way, just enjoy. As we begin to bring our awareness back to our physical bodies, feel a sense of aliveness in this moment. Take a deep breath in with a sense of gratitude, fully expanding your lungs, holding the breath at the top, and when you're ready, fully exhale with an open sigh. Begin to roll your shoulders, wiggle your fingers and toes. Slowly open your eyes back to the world around you. Trust and know that from this loving, centered, divinely sourced energy, it is grounded in love, clarity, and wisdom. From here, whatever action you take will help lead to one of the endless number of creative possibilities for your desired outcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. And as we go into our week this week, when we find ourselves or our minds jumping on that squeaky hamster wheel, just know that the piece of that to stop that noise is just beyond our eyelids and the flow of our breath with you always. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you'll stay tuned for our service this morning at 10:15. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Come on. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. One life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. Yeah. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. All right. One life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. Oh. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. Oh. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. Oh. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. Oh yeah. Come on. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. One life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. Yeah. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. All right. One life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. Oh yeah. Come on. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. Oh yeah. Come on. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light
Oh, good morning, everyone. Somehow I missed the finger. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. We are so very glad that you have chosen to join us this morning, whether you're here at 4 Points by Sheridan or whether you've invited us into your homes. We are very glad that we are celebrating life and celebrating the presence of the divine in our lives together as a community. It's always a lot more fun to do that. So thank you all so very much for being here. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the privilege and the honor of being this community's spiritual director. We are part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. And at Centers for Spiritual Living, we believe that there is one power and presence back of everything that there is, the creative energy that has created everything seen and unseen. We know that we are part of that creation, that we are created in the image and likeness of God. And because God is creative, then we too are creative and have, in fact, been creating the experiences of our lives, all of our lives, whether we are aware of it or not, whether we've done so consciously or whether that creation is happening unconsciously. And so what we do is we gather together on Sundays and Wednesdays and for social events and for classes and workshops to remind each other the truth of our spirituality, the truth that we are spiritual beings having a human incarnation, and that we are more alike with each other than we are not, and that we support each other as we walk this spiritual path. So we're very glad that you have chosen to join us. I have one quick announcement, and that is about our upcoming holiday bazaar. Woo! So Sunday, November 12th, from 12 o'clock until 4 o'clock, right after the service. So you could come to the service and then you could come just walk across the little room there and go over to the Holiday Bazaar here at 4 Points by Sheridan, 1200 Clarence Circle in Morrisville. If you create and sell artwork or crafts, books, music, spiritual items, holiday decor, apparel, personal services, food, candles, soaps, and other gift items, then please hear what we're having to say. We would love for you to participate in this holiday bazaar. We would love for you to reserve your space to get a table at the bazaar so that you can sell all kinds of Christmas gifts to all of the people that will be coming to check out all of the different kinds of wares that will be here. Now, to reserve your space, and you should do that as soon as possible, because we have a limited number of tables and you want to be sure to get a space. Connect with us at info@trianglecsl.org. That's info@trianglecsl.org, and just let us know that you would like to reserve a space, and we will let you know about all of the particulars about that. Limited availability, first come, first serve. So please connect with us around that. We would love to have you bring your gifts so we can, really applaud and celebrate your unique contributions and creative abilities. So please do that. We actually have 2 flower dedications today, 2 of them. And so the first one I will read. Today, we give special remembrance to the parents of TCSL community member Lisa Mandolin, both of whom would have been celebrating their birthdays this week. Mom, Mona, today, and Dad, Paul, on Tuesday. Please join me in sending love and appreciation to them for bringing their amazing daughter, Lisa, into this world and for emboldening her to develop into the exceptional person we all know and love. They have every right to be so very proud of her. Despite their physical absence, Mona and Paul's support, love, and energy continues in, around, and through Lisa. But even more so this week, which, in addition to their birthdays, coincide with the 7th anniversary of her mom's passing. Mona and Paul, you still live on in the heart and mind of the precious daughter you left behind. And Lisa, those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day, unseen, unheard, but always near, still loved, still missed, and very dear. And so it is. And this is from Eileen Proctor. And the second, I'll invite Betty Courier up to the podium.
Good morning. September is National Recovery Month. And the theme for this year is every person, every place, everywhere, or words like that. I was trying to find it. I lost it on my phone. I'm technologically challenged, but I am proud to say I am a woman in long-term recovery from alcoholism. My sobriety date is January 6th, 1976. I'll let you do the math. Right. And a quote, I don't know where it came from, but it really says what I want to say. When one of us recovers from addiction, everyone benefits. We are restored to health, wellness, and usefulness. Our productivity improves, and the lives of our family members, friends, and neighbors are made better. So if you know a person in recovery, say, "Hi, I'm proud of you." If you know someone who's struggling, maybe you can give some support, but whatever. This month is important to me and to a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Betty, and really congratulations to all of those that are in long-term recovery or short-term recovery, whether it's been 10 years or 10 days or 10 hours. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Michelle Love, one of our licensed practitioners, for her beautiful meditation this morning that enlarged the container that our service will unfold within. Thank you very much, Michelle. And speaking of Michelle, please welcome her back up to the podium.
Thank you, Dusty. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here this morning. Our theme for the year 2023 is Living Out Loud. And our theme for the month of September is Love Out Loud. Reverend Dusty's talk title this morning is Love on a Spectrum. I am now going to read this community's purpose statement. This is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives into being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. And so it is. Oh, I now invite you to turn within, open your heart and mind, and allow the healing sounds of the crystal bowls to simply wash over you.
attention back into your bodies, back into the rooms that you were in. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths, as represented by this ceremony. Please welcome Trish and Les, who will be assisting us this morning. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principle of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. And so it is. Thank you both. Now I invite you to please turn within, closing your outer eyes as I speak a word of blessing on today's service. Recognizing in this moment the presence of God, here now, everywhere, always. Knowing that presence as supreme love, infinite intelligence, wisdom, beauty, grace, the joy of a child, the majesty of nature, the thrill of an adventure. God is present in it all. It is all from Source. I know that I am one with that allness, that I come from it, that I am fueled, funded, and supported in every way by it. I know that is the truth of me, as I know that is the truth of each person within the sound of my voice, each sentient being on this planet, that we are all one. There is no separation. I speak a word of blessing on this service today, this Sunday celebration service, celebrating our oneness, celebrating our community, celebrating the love. I bless Reverend Dusty as she comes forward with her message today, knowing that we will be blessed by her words, that our heart will open a little more, that our minds will expand a little more, that something will inform us so that we are able to look at love a little bit different in our lives. I speak a word of blessing on Cindy for the beautiful music that she brings us. I speak a word of blessing on Michelle Love for her service to our community and for the beautiful meditation that she facilitated before service. And I bless Martin and Ava in our AV, allowing us to be seen and heard by the folks online and people in the future.
And I speak a word of blessing on our volunteers, John and Diane and Amy. So appreciative for their service to our community and setting up the room today and just the joy that they bring to this day. And I speak a word of blessing on our community, all those beautiful faces, all the ones that are here today that we're able to hug in person, those that are online that have said good morning, knowing that we are all in our perfect spots, and all those that will be catching this service in the future. We are grateful for you. And I am grateful for this day and for all of the blessings. And so it is. The reading for today is from Diversity Matters by Mary Jane Yates. She says, imagine a world where sunsets were all the same color, or forests only had one kind of plant, or food only had one flavor. When we are attuned into our senses in the natural world, it's easy to recognize the importance of diversity. So why is it that we seem to have such difficulty in embracing the diversity within our own species? We hear another language and tune it out as being irrelevant to our own conversations. We see a different lifestyle and deem it wrong or immoral. We hear an opposing viewpoint and judge it as uninformed or radical. Yet, according to ecologists, a world without diversity in both biology and human culture will not survive. And now it is time for some diversity in music. And the lovely Cindy Johnson, please welcome her.
This song, there it is in honor of Recovery Month, and this song was requested by Betty. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. 'Tis grace that taught my heart to sing, and grace my fears relieved, allowing me to find my wings the hour I first believed. Now we at times face storms and strifes, but grace is always there to help us rise to greater life, with even more to share. When we've been here 10,000 years, bright shining God's praise than when we first begun. We've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Thank you.
So quite a few. Throughout each of them, one of the most unexpected messages was every expression of life is an expression of love. Every expression of life is an expression of love. For me, kind of seems like a corollary of the idea that God is everywhere at all times. Well, we might not be so sure of that sometimes with our human perceptions, right? But if God is everywhere at all times and God and love are synonymous, then love is everywhere at all times. And therefore, every expression of life is an expression of love. Now, in the conversations with God, the explanation of this idea was no less unexpected than the statement itself. So Neil Donald Walsh, or God through Neil Donald Walsh, says, if you didn't love something, you couldn't hate something else. If you didn't love something so desperately, you couldn't even begin to think of using desperate measures such as violence or killing as a means of getting it, keeping it, or protecting it. If you didn't love something intensely, you could never be angry about either not having it or having it taken away from you. Thieves act out of love. They love something so much that they desperately want to have it, and they know of no other way to get it except to steal it. The same is true of people who commit other actions that we call crimes. Now, even the most horrific crimes, rape, murder, all are acts of love. Deeply distorted acts, for sure. Utterly unacceptable acts, without question. Not condoned or approved of or excused in any way by me or by society or by the explanations in conversations with God. No, not excused, but understood. And thus held in a new way. This is something that God understands completely. I remember I read an article one time by a man named Robert McDonald, who went to prisons all over the country. Prisons that were really minimum security and prisons that were really higher security. And he would talk with some of the prisoners and he would ask them questions that continued to keep drilling down until he got to that bottom line of why they were there, why they did what they did. And he said, across the board, it was always love. The same as the Course in Miracles would say that everything that happens is either a cry for love or an attempt to demonstrate love. Sometimes, not the best choice, but perhaps the only choice they had, the only way they could figure out how to ask for it or how to do it. So every expression of life is an expression of love. The underlying idea of today's message is that love exists on a spectrum. So it includes the light and the dark. It includes the highs and the lows. It includes the hills and the valleys, the comfort and the discomfort, all of it. While the darkness might be uncomfortable, it assists us to grow. It assists us to grow. Cindy sang about that a little bit, Growing pains come when we grow through spiritual or mental or physical or emotional kinds of pains. And that growth comes with that discomfort. Now, the science of mind would point out, and Ernest Holmes does a pretty famous quote about how we've done this route to learning enough, that we don't have a really good reason, nor do we need to continue to grow through discomfort, through suffering. But that doesn't imply that life does not come with some discomfort or with some challenges or with some, discomfort, right? There are many ways to learn and to grow. Many different ways, all kinds of possibilities. We don't have to do it through suffering, but very often we do. Very often we do. Both comfort and discomfort are really descriptions or labels that we put on the experiences the experience that we're going through, whatever challenge that we're going through. Some people would call it discomfort. Some people might call it comfort. Every one of us, would describe it as something different, that experience, even though the experience itself might be the exact same thing. But everybody is going to experience that experience through their own lenses, through their own human perceptions, their own stories that they've told themselves based on all the other experiences that they've had in their lives, based on all of the preferences that they have, which is going to be different from each other. So our unique way of life has us describing the experiences differently on a spectrum. All experiences of love, however, support our growth. All experience of love, regardless of the challenges that they may pose, assist us to continue to walk this spiritual path, assist us to evolve. There's no such thing as a failed relationship. No such thing. All of life is a relationship, and the entirety of our experiences connect us with the spirit within. All of them. Whether we call them discomfort or whether we call them comfort. All of them connect us more deeply to the divinity within each and every single one of us. When we can find a way to really stand in this idea that all action is birthed by love, then we open to the awareness that it is only through really extreme distortions of that essential energy, the energy of God, the energy of love, that people do what we call bad things through a distortion of that only underlying energy that there is, love. Love is all there is. Just like nuclear energy can be used in a destructive way, or it could be used in a beneficial way, so can love be used to produce what we might call good or what we might call bad. Now, without the distortions, love on itself would and could, or could and would create a world that would work for everyone. And yet, we as human beings, seeing and experiencing the experiences of our lives through our own lenses, sometimes dip down into and distort that energy of love. Neil Donald Walsh says, as humanity grows and evolves and increases in its understanding of the entire process by which life expresses itself, the distortions will become fewer and farther in between. First, because our new understandings will cause us to behave in a remarkably different way with each other, making mistreatment and cruelty of every kind virtually disappear. Second, because our increased awareness of the long-term effects of every aspect of life will cause us to clean up our environment, alter what we consume, change other of our personal habits, and modify our lifestyles. Taken together, these alterations as part of our evolution will produce a new kind of human. A new kind of human. We have to learn to love one another through all of the experiences of our lives. To recognize the spark of the divine within each and every single one of us, with absolutely no exception, and to invite our mind to move into a deep understanding of the why, of the what, of the events that we experience in our lives. To invite us into a deep understanding of the whys behind that. And when our understanding comes to such a level that allows us to really be able to say, in the words of Maya Angelou, when we know better, we do better. When we know better, we do better. So the invitation is, until that time comes when we really increase and expand our awareness of the why behind that, our awareness of the distortions of the love that is back of everything, then the invitation is to simply do the best that we can. To do the best that we can at any given moment, to love every person, place, and thing that we encounter that is in our life, because it's supposed to be in our life. It's supposed to be there so that we may experience and express our true identity, and that when we can do so without distortion, we will truly be living and loving our out loud. Really, truly living and loving out loud. I read an article just this last week by a woman who attended last week's Burning Man. So probably everybody has heard, that it was kind of a mess. And she said, "I feel proud of the citizens of Black Rock City for enduring the additional difficulty that the rain and mud provided." She said in Instagram, as usual for Burning Man, right? It was not the burn I had planned or would have requested, but it was what I got, and thus it was exactly what I needed. Exactly what I needed. Not what I would have asked for or what I would have planned, but exactly what I needed. The self givingness and the love of God itself in action. Always. The second idea was around the meaning of love itself and our understanding of it. So, he loves me, he loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. God loves me, God loves me not. A story that we told ourselves based on the experiences of our lives, right? A game that we played as children. A story we still might be telling ourselves based on our human perception of the people in our lives and our relationship with them, or about our beliefs about God and our experience of the life that we're living. This idea that love is here today and gone tomorrow, something that can be gained or lost, something it is given or not given based on a capricious being that's outside of ourselves, that we have to do something to be worthy of, and that can be taken away at the drop of a hat or by simply ending with a particular petal. Is any of this the truth about love? No, none of it is the truth about love. The Course in Miracles states that relationships are central to our spiritual evolution, to our spiritual enlightenment, that we awaken to God through our relationships. Now, in order for this to happen, however, we have to completely restructure our thinking about them. We must relinquish our current mode of relating to one another. Recognizing that our personal understanding of love is unique to each and every single one of us, right? And that it does fall on a spectrum of what we understand and what we still have yet to understand. The invitation is to broaden our understanding, to consciously broaden our understanding and therefore our expression of love itself. Now, one of the very first ideas that I invite us to let go of is of our idea of love. That our underlying idea of love. He loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. Here today, gone tomorrow. I have to be worthy of it. We need to change that. We need to change our understanding of love. Now, on the human plane, right, love might be specific to the passionate desire and intimacy of romantic love, to the sexual love of eros, or to the emotional closeness of familial love, or to the platonic love that we have for our friends, or to the profound oneness of religious love, or even to the pleasure of a good meal. I love pizza. Or perhaps to a concept of love that really includes all of that, right? On the spiritual plane, however, love is love. Love is love. Marianne Williamson says there is no love but God's. No love but God's love. Love is one. It has no separate parts and no degrees, no kinds, no levels, no divergencies, and no distinctions. Now, this could be kind of a hard concept for some of us to really be able to understand or to take on or to believe in or to embody, right? Because we're sitting here thinking, Dusty, excuse me, what the heck? The love that I have for my partner is way different than the love that I have for my child, which is way different than the love that I have for my friend. But my my deepening truth, my understanding as it deepens and deepens and deepens, is that there is no categories to love. No categories to that spiritual love And so, for example, we might be able to look then at the love that we feel for our newborn child, which gives us a depth of understanding of tenderness. And that depth of understanding of tenderness really teaches us more about what true love really is, but it doesn't change the love itself. Love is always the same. It is simply love. It is the wholeness of God's love and cannot be divided or labeled or even described in a way that puts limits or boundaries on it. It's infinite. The love of God encompasses all of it. It is infinite. This love, this pure love, defies description. It is that which is and cannot be explained. This love, this pure love, is without condition. It is unqualified. It asks nothing, demands nothing, and requires nothing. This love, this pure love, is not selective or exclusive. It does not make one person any more special than any other person. It does not come with jealousy or possessiveness or manipulation or fear or judgment or doubt or control. For something to be pure, it means that it's free of dirt, free of pollutants, free of infectious agents or any other unwanted elements, right? It is pure. It contains nothing inappropriate or extraneous. Nothing. It is clean and wholesome without an discordant quality. It is unmitigated, not diminished or moderated in intensity. We experience pure love as kindness, giving, compassionate, peace, joy, acceptance, non-judgment, and caring for the happiness of another without a word for what we might get for ourselves out of it. Pure love is the love of God. The pure love that lies at the heart, that really lies at the heart of all relationships, doesn't change with the form or the circumstance. What does change and what does exist on a spectrum is how that love is expressed. How that love is expressed, but not the love itself. Having said that, the Course in Miracles describes 3 different levels of relationships, 3 different levels in the world of form. How that pure, unadulterated love of God can show up in the world of form, they describe on 3 different levels. So the very first level is reason. Reason. And this we might call, a chance encounter. We could experience it as, standing in line to get your latte in the morning at a coffee shop and striking up a conversation with the person standing behind you in line. Or it could be a young child racing out of an elevator the minute the doors open and bumping into you. Or it could be a couple of people walking across a campus who happen to be heading in the same direction, striking up a conversation with each other. It appears superficial, right? It appears superficial, but really the bottom line is that it really could be an opportunity to soften the hard edges of our personalities. That it occurs when 2 people actually lose sight of their own personal interests, even if just for a tiny moment in time. That's a reason. Now, the second level is what we refer to as season. Season. At this level, people are brought together for more intense work with each other. They enter into a teaching learning relationship for a period of time, going through whatever experiences they need to go through with each other, and then they appear to separate. And I say appear to separate because the relationship appears to be over, but in truth, our relationships with each other are never actually over. They're never actually over. Like in quantum physics, you could have a particle in an orbit that swings out of that orbit and into some other orbit, will always be in direct communication with the other particles in that original orbit, even though they may never end up in the same orbit again. They're always in communication with each other. That relationship still exists, even though you may never talk to each other again. Love is eternal. It is the truth between our souls. It cannot be lost. The third level of relationship is a lifetime relationship. Now, these are teaching and learning situations in which we're given lifelong partners with unlimited possibilities of learning with each other. And I know you all are laughing. And I know why. Within them, the teaching learning balance is, it's actually perfect. Sometimes the teacher, sometimes the learner, it's actually really perfect, even though you might not recognize it as such. You might think you're the only teacher going on here, but in all probability, you are not. The balance is perfect. Sometimes we participate in these loving relationships all of our lives, and sometimes the relationship is a little more problematic. Just because we have the most to learn from them doesn't mean we always like them or the relationship, because they may reflect back to us. Now, like, here's the learning piece of it, right? They may reflect back to us all of the things that we don't want to see reflected back to us. The fear, the worry, the doubt, the meanness, whatever it is, they are there to reflect back to us those things so that we can bring them up to heal them. And they'll hang around with us because they're lifetime relationships to assist us to do that. They show us our walls and our barriers to really being able to experience the fullness of the expression of love. So while we might be cranky about that, we should really be grateful about it, right? We're in each other's lives to help us to see where we need the most healing and then to assist us to do that. Yay. Not always fun, but yay. Yay. Woohoo. We in every relationship, in every moment, we are either demonstrating love or we're demonstrating fear. One or the other. As we demonstrate fear or negativity, we learn self-condemnation. And we learn to feel more frightened by life itself. As we demonstrate love towards others, we learn that we are actually lovable. And we learn to love more deeply. The invitation is to let love lead. Let love lead by affirming that love is our first priority, first and foremost over everything else, in every situation, in every experience that we find ourselves within. We actualize, we bring forward, right, the power of God. We bring forward the power of God. We are that outpouring of Spirit. We have been created in the image and likeness of God, and God makes no mistakes. Everything is spiritual. Everything is love. Who we are is who we are meant to be. Each one of us was brought into this particular moment in history in the communities that we are in, the ones that we were born into, the ones that we have created for ourselves for a divine purpose. When we embrace who we are, regardless of what the people around us do or say or react to, we align with our own spiritual truth. Love has no limitations. Every person experiences love and every person expresses love, but we all do it in our own way. We all do it on a spectrum. Mark Nepo, in his book, The Book of Awakening, says, true inner responsibility centers on our willingness to give voice to whatever is happening to us in the midst of a relationship. This is important both for you and for the person you are relating to. If you are not present, then there is nothing to respond to. And love only becomes real in the world through our ability to respond. Bringing who you are to a relationship, being your true self, gives others the opportunity to transcend their own limitations by acting on their love. It gives the other person a chance to show up. It gives the other person a chance to show up. Now, all of the many expressions of love show up on a spectrum, right? With all of these different varieties and ways of being in the world. For example, relationships can be heterosexual or homosexual. They can be monogamous, or they could be filled with infidelity. They could actually be consensual non-monogamy, which could include polyamory or open relationships or swinging couples. There can be blended families and interracial families and long distance relationships and September-May relationships and arranged relationships, or relationships that are very fluid. Relationships can include transgender or non-binary, bisexual, gay, lesbian, or pansexual. The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are inclusive. The possibilities are interesting. And the possibilities are exciting. And complete demonstrations of the unified multiplicity of the divine. Complete demonstrations of the unified multiplicity of the divine. All of it is God. Cultural norms might lead people around us to be critical of our choices to express love authentically. But when we stand in our truth and we love out loud, we create loving change within our own communities. When we're willing to put ourselves out there, when we're willing to be ourselves, then we slowly over time create loving change within our own communities. Celebrating our love out loud assists us to normalize different ways of expressing love and inspire others to embrace their own unique expression of love. Sue Mortimer, author of The Energy Code, says, once you give yourself permission to love no matter what, the outer world has no choice but to reflect back the image of unconditional love. It has no choice. That's the way that it works. She goes on to say, when you live in a space of gratitude, celebration, and joy that includes everyone, where all are welcome and you see yourself in them, the creator version finally gets to have the life that it came here to live. I love that. The bottom line is that we all are here today, whether you're here or whether you're out there, as spiritual beings having a human incarnation. Divine, unique, individualized expressions of God imbued with the very essence of love itself, a perfect, pure love that exists on a spectrum. What I know beyond a shadow of a doubt is that we are perfect just the way that we are. Born with divine imprints that were our gifts from Source, our gifts from God. Each one of us was purposely brought to this planet. Our lives are a divine appointment. Who we are authentically is who we were meant to be. So we might as well celebrate who we are by living and loving out loud. And when we love out loud, we help shift the world towards the acceptance of all different forms of loving relationships. To all different forms. God makes no mistakes. And for that, I am eternally grateful. And so it is. So it is. Thank you all so very, very much. I just invite us to turn within for a moment of prayer, anchoring that message and our understanding of it in the divine, turning away from the world of form and allowing our attention and intention to turn towards the center of our being, that spark of God, that divinity within the core of our being, that love that is pure, that is unconditioned, that is unadulterated, meaning childlike, unadulterated. That very presence of God itself. I know that I am one with it, that I am the expression of God's love in the world. In my own unique and individualized way, I bring forward that love with an intention to be that presence everywhere in every relationship, so that God shows up as me, so that it allows everyone else to show up as God. Because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we all are that it can't just be true for me, but that it has to be true for each and every single one of us. We are all that divine, unique, individualized expression. We are God's ambassadors on the planet at this time, here on purpose, with a purpose to bring forward that pure love in all of its many forms. From one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum, it is all love. It is all God. And God makes no mistakes. And so I claim for each and every single one of us ease and grace around being who we are, of bringing forth that love that is within us to everyone we meet, whether it is for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, that we show up for all of them, living and loving out loud. Because if we don't do it in our own particular way, then no one can. I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes. That my words are clothed in form even as I speak them, and so I speak them and I release them into that law, letting go and letting God be God. I invite each one of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is, and so it is. Amen. Thank you all. It is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. And this is the time every week when we offer financial support to this community to assist us to continue to be a beacon of light and warmth and love in the Greater Triangle area. Together, we affirm that the truth that today's offering lifts the one that is giving, lifts our spiritual community, and lifts the experience of sufficiency on the planet. There are 3 different ways that you can give. They're here on our screen or on your screen at home. Visit our website at www.trianglecsl.org. Number 2, text the word give using the following number, 919-230-8445. Or you can mail your gift to our office at PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina 27519. So I invite everyone here or at home to place your hand on your heart and with an affirmation for yourself or for someone else or for our community, and we'll say our offering affirmation in a call and response. Please repeat after me. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source. I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source. And so it is. Thank you all so very much for your generosity. And now please be generous with your celebration of Cindy Johnson as she returns to her piano.
We are creating a world that works for everyone. Yes, we're amazing, and we've just begun to feel the power and freedom to be who we came here to be, as we discover each other and celebrate humanity. We are creating a world that works for everyone. Yes, times are changing. It's a love revolution as we are walking together. Love is leading the way through fields of compassion to a world that works for everyone. To a world that works for everyone. to a world that works for everyone.
So beautiful, Cindy. Thank you. Thank you. Now, y'all heard these beautiful flower dedications today. So, if you have a chance to celebrate something in your lives or to mark a special moment in someone else's life, please consider doing that. And you would do that by connecting with me or with Dusty. And we will get these beautiful flowers and hear your beautiful dedication. Appreciate that. If you would like prayer, please go to our website at trianglecsl.org. And on the homepage, there's a button in the upper right hand corner. Click on that button and fill in the request form. We love to know truths for you, and we will send those prayers out to the ministers and practitioners to do that. Dusty spoke about our prosperity consciousness during our collections, and we are in the middle of doing an abundance prayer as a community, and there's some forms out on the welcome table. If you haven't already gotten one, please grab one and do that prayer with us as a community. It's been powerful for me. And speaking of prosperity consciousness, if you find that you are experiencing a little lack and limitation from time to time in your life, we all do. We have an excellent opportunity coming up to bolster that abundance consciousness, and that is by our new classes starting this Tuesday. It is called The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success, and it is based from Deepak Chopra's book of the same name. And Carol Cross will be the facilitator. It will be 8 weeks. And as I said, it starts this Tuesday, so it's not too late. You can connect with me at info@trianglecsl.org, or you can go to the website and fill out that form. The class will be an Eastern inspired pathway to prosperity. We'll be reading and discussing Deepak's book, supplementing our intellectual understanding with holistic practices from India's Hindu and Vedic traditions. This is a certified class, so it can be used as an elective to enter into our licensed spiritual practitioner training. There are no prerequisites. The class is $245 and payment plans are available. We'd love to have you join us. And speaking of classes, later on in the fall and spilling over into the beginning of the new year, we'll be facilitating Roots. This course provides the student with an understanding of the historical roots in America of Ernest Holmes' philosophy. Specific emphasis is given to the works of Thomas Troward, Emma Curtis Hopkins, and Ralph Waldo Emerson. This is a CSL certified class, and it is required to enter into practitioner training. You must have taken foundations in order to take this class. It is 10 weeks, 5 Tuesday evenings in 2023 and 5 in 2024. It will be from 7 to 9, and the instructor is Reverend Betty Harris. The cost is $245, and payment plans are available as well for that one. Now, in the comfort of your own home and here at 4 Points, please stand for our September affirmations. This is a call and response, and please repeat it with meaning. There should be a form on your chair as well if you'd rather read from that. I know that enjoying the experience of being loved and loving others starts with loving myself. I know that enjoying the experience of being loved and loving others starts with loving myself. I inspire love in the world by living as an example of what love looks like. I inspire love in the world by living as an example of what love looks like. By doing so, I encourage others to love themselves and to embrace their own expression of love. By doing so, I encourage others to love themselves and to embrace their own expression of love. Today, I choose to remain conscious and aware of the presence of love. Today, I choose to I see every being as a divine expression of that presence. As I live consciously from the understanding that love is all there is, I experience a life of love greater than I have ever known. Choosing to live by example and to love unconditionally, I consciously serve the creation of a world that works for everyone. And so it is. Woo. I agree. You may be seated. Just speak a word of gratitude on today's service. Closing our eyes and leaving our inner eyes wide open to the amazing source of love. That love that surrounds us always. Feeling it so palpable here today with all of these beautiful people. With Dusty's amazing message of love on a spectrum, knowing that it is all love, that it is all God, that it is all for us. I know that is the truth for myself, for each of us. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to join together, this opportunity to look at love in a slightly different way, to hear once again that it's only love. If we're in fear, then we just need to turn to love. Those are the choices. So grateful to have this moment in the week to sink into that love, to sink into this community, to practice, to rejoice, to hug it out. So grateful for this community, for each person here, each person right in their perfect place, wherever they are, knowing that each of us is a bright, shining light of that love. Blessing our week going forward. Hearts full of gratitude and love. And so it is.
Thank you all so very much for being here today, for inviting us to into your homes. Have an amazing week. I love you all madly.